traders, welcome to Breathingwiththemarkets.com. My name's Rich Walden. How you doing? I hope you're all doing well this weekend. Just ate some lunch, decided to make a video. I have no fucking idea what I'm going to say or talk about. But something came to mind that today I was helping out a mentee from UK and with some questions and stuff, whatever he needed help with. But one thing for certain is, as I said on the other videos, he had mentioned about transparency. And I had talked that I show you transparency. I teach what I preach, and I preach and I teach a skill in the market. Not only do I teach a skill in the market, I show the mentees my trades in the market. I don't show YouTube my trades in the market. I show the mentees my trades in the market. That's the only transparency that I need. I don't need to show millions of dollars. I don't need to show thousands of dollars. I don't need to show $1. All I need to do is make sure the mentees have the right mindset and to follow me, who has traded 20s and 20s of thousands of trades in the market. The market cannot fool me. And eventually, the market will not be able to fool the mentees either. And to be quite honest, the market is not fooling the mentees. The mentees, some of them, are having a leverage issue with some of these prop firms. That's not a big deal. We talked, as I said before, anyone that fucking gets on here and go back in their history. If you're following a guru you like, go back in their history and tell you, and try to find something that says trading a live account is much harder than trading prop firms. There's a guru who used to take a bounce, right? What the fuck is a bounce at a support and resistance line? What the fuck is a bounce at supply and demand? Oh wait, higher highs and higher lows. We're going higher, right? Trend is your friend, I guess, right? All of these buzzwords. Well, how's that all working out for you guys? How is it all working out for you guys? Not a little bit of not a handful that are gambling, but how is that really working out for you? And not too well. If you're watching this video, I thank you very much because you're in the right place. I guarantee you're in the right place. I can back up my shit. You are in the right place at the right time of your trading career. As I said, and as I said to the mentee, and I'll give you bits and pieces, but I'm not, it's private and what we talk about. But the main thing is you have people say, I'm a full-time trader. I just went full-time. I wasn't profitable until 2 years, or I wasn't profitable until 10 years. Do not listen, okay? Do not listen to that. Don't ingest that. They can say it, that's fine. They have a right to say it. It's their opinion, it's their facts, it's their data, it's all that stuff. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't ingest that into your system. Because when you are at the right place to learn how to trade, it's not going to take you 2 and 10 and 20 and 15 years, okay? And if it does, trading was not for you and you didn't listen. So if you listen, then you'll understand that what I am teaching you works. It cannot be proven wrong. It works. And if it can be proven wrong, I would expect that any of the mentees to contact me and show me their chart and say it didn't work or it doesn't work, okay? I'm not talking about losing a trade, okay? I'm not talking about leveraging. I'm not talking about fake, once again, fake data that's going through the computer and you're trading on, where you're looking at one screen to my right that I pay for, and I pay for live data, and I look at a live screen that I don't pay for, but I get live data because it's a live account. And then I look at Quantower platform, and then I look at a prop firm, however that information works. I look at a prop firm's chart, and all of a sudden, it doesn't match. Why? That's for you to decide. I'm not going to tell you why or why not. So if you have different charts, and you have different platforms, such as I do, then the question is, you should probably narrow it down to what is real and what's not real. And anyone to come on YouTube to say that trading a live account is a lot harder than trading prop firms, they need to level up. It's a fact. That is a fact. I don't know what else to tell you. You need a skill in the market, right? If you break it down, do the math. Do the math. If you don't understand how to do the math, because math is black and white. I love math. I was good in math. I didn't study, but I passed math. I just never studied. It seems like when I went and took the test, I understood what I was doing for whatever reason, but I like math. So math, I mean, whether it's miles, for example, I was on the treadmill today, right? And I had my watch. Okay? No, it's not a Rolex watch. It's a Garmin, right? It's a Garmin watch. I had the Rolex watches, okay? Not a big deal. It's a fucking Rolex. It's not a big deal. All right? It's a watch. It's not a skill. It's not going to pretend that you know what the fuck you're doing. Okay? It's not going to. A Rolex means nothing. So get that out of your head. I don't teach people how to collect money. I don't teach people how to live a lifestyle differently than others. I don't teach you're going to be in the upper class or higher class. What is that? What's the definition of that anyways? When you go to lunch, you can eat at the same damn places, okay? The food doesn't taste any better. You can go out and spend $300 for a lunch and taste like shit. You can go to your favorite mom and pop place that cooks great food, whether it be soup, steaks, whatever, and have the best steak of your life for a fraction of the price. So don't get involved in the money. The money means absolutely nothing, traders. I teach and preach this 100% of the time. If you have a skill, people will follow. If you have a skill, the rewards will follow. I have owned businesses in the Valley that never ever had a complaint. Okay? Ever had a complaint. Done millions of dollars in business. Never a complaint. Why? Because quality was first. Quality trades is first. A skill. You're only as good as your subcontractors, right? For those contractors out there. If you're hiring people and you're going out and I used to build things from the ground up, okay? And millions of dollars worth of stuff. The point is that if you're hiring someone, they have to have a skill. If you are going to follow a guru who is streaming, if you are going to follow a guru who has a course, they can get all of this free information on the internet, put it together in a syllabus, a catalog, in a video, and say, come on over, pay for me, I will show you thee, and it's all the information that's all over the internet.
Oh shit, here we go again.
Well, yes, you can do that for free, of course, but what you cannot do, and what you probably will not be able to do, is to get a mentor that has a fucking skill that can hone in and tell you over and over and over and over again, do this and get your skill, and you will see yourself grow each day. If you go against that, no matter what fucking strategy or edge that you fucking learned the last 10 years, I will guarantee you something. You're gonna fucking lose. That's a bold statement, right? They're gonna lose with a high probability. Are you able to follow directions? If you are able to follow directions and you are consistent in following those directions, there is no doubt in my mind that you can become successful at trading. What does that mean? How much money do they have? What is their financial situation? Because those with the least amount of money, it's going to take them a little longer to build that up. But once they do, and they stay in the saddle and they keep trading the same way, because if you want to YOLO, now you built your account up and now you're going to YOLO, you may lose it because you have nothing else left, right? There are no guarantees in life and there's no guarantees in trading. But I hear people all the time, yeah, we lose. But they don't explain why they lose. They just assume, listen to me carefully, they assume that their strategy may not be 100%, right? Their strategy might be 60%. Well, let me tell you something, traders. I wouldn't want fucking 60%. That's not what I'm fucking looking for. Why would you want 60% of your trades working? Because you were watching YouTube University, and YouTube is a great place to post, so it's not against YouTube. It is the information and the traders that are putting this information out that, well, I don't know, and there was a guru that take it on the bounce. I don't know anybody that has a strategy like over 50, 60%, and I know a bunch of traders. Well, guess what? He doesn't know fucking traders. Because I don't know good traders that have a shitty fucking percentage hit rate, okay? Meaning, personally know them, all right? Their hit rate is high. That is a skill. It's a fact. Don't get into this, hold on a minute, rut, a deep hole, and say, oh, I have a 30% hit rate. All you gotta do is win one trade and it wipes out your losses. What mentality is that? That's all over YouTube. Right? You want a hit rate. Now you have other people posting that my strategy is 90% and I made millions of dollars. Sit down with me for 15 minutes, watch my clickbait, and become the trader you want to be. Did they teach you where to be in the market? Did they teach you how the market operates? Did they even get in and say the market's fucking fake? It's algorithmic. Did they say any of this? And if they do say it, for buzzwords, can they teach it? If they can't teach it, you may want to find somebody that can. If you value your money, then stop spending your money in the market because you're gambling. You are gambling if it's a hunch, intuition, I shoulda, coulda, woulda, only if I held a little bit longer, only if I got in a little bit later. Only if I did this, only if everything is I have to correct the mentees that come from gambling. And unfortunately, it is not their fault. I tell them all the time, stop. Don't blame yourself. You've ingested gambling fucking mentality from these gurus that told everyone they're a fucking multi-million-dollar guy with no fucking skill. Who cares about your fucking Bitcoin? Does that mean you have a fucking strategy? Disclaimer. Someone puts 100 grand in Bitcoin right now, and it goes to $200 fucking a share. They have a skill? If your answer was yes, turn off the TV and go somewhere else. That's not a skill. That's called someone had $100,000 and they put it down on a stock of their choice, whether they listened to a friend, family, or their dog that knew nothing about fucking trading. Again, if you don't know anything about fucking trading and you can't follow the market and you teach people the reason you're losing is because of your psychology. How about the reason you're fucking losing because you don't know how to trade? No one taught you how to trade. They taught you how to gamble. Yes, they taught you how to gamble. I had told this person today that I believe in 2 or 3 incomes. My whole life. Not one. What's the definition of a fucking full-time trader? I'm a full-time trader. Well, does that mean you have to have like 40 hours a week in the market? Because full-time work is typically, 3/12s or 40 hours a week in the US. And you have a full-time job. It's either part-time, full-time, or, well, I keep looking for a job and you're on fucking food stamps or something, right? Because you're not willing to work on some of them, and others are less fortunate. We get that. But at the same time, we have to understand and look forward to the future, right? You cannot continue to blame others for where you've been. Nobody knows about other people's lives. Nobody knows where they came from. I wasn't some gifted fucking child that said, oh, I came from this wealthy family and all this stuff, okay? I had a grandmother, her last name was Spadoni, and she was hardcore. Italian thing. Utmost respect. I am here today because of her. But the bottom line is she taught me right from wrong. And this is what I keep saying, is believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. And I took that to my heart. I took that to my heart. Ashley's no longer with us and with me, and one of the most important people in my life. I miss her dearly. The point is, I listened to those who really understood life. I didn't listen to fancy cars. I didn't listen to people that had, needed everything fake. It was like, these people that go out and buy the most expensive car and they live in a fucking apartment, okay? Right? They just have to, this is what I drive, but I don't have a house, mortgage and stuff like that, but they might be into a car. So we have all walks of life. So basically, I'm just explaining again. Believe half of what you see and nothing you hear. Everything you hear from other people's fucking hearsay. I tried to tell someone the other day that's not related to breathingwiththemarkets.com, and I said, hey, support and resistance. Good luck with that. I would suggest not concentrate on that and learn how to trade the market. Well, I got a friend that makes $1,000 to $3,000 a week. Well, I got a friend. Everyone's got this fucking friend, right? Everyone's got this friend, right? And I have friends of friends that before the 2007 market hit, they were worth $40 million, and then when the market hit, they were down $20 million. And now they're back up. So what's a friend of a friend? Right? If you hang out with people that have a skill, you are going to grow. If you have a mentor that is at a level and not by all of this other bullshit, fake guru shit, but they can actually teach you a skill, you are going to grow. You are going to make big improvements. Big improvements. I've always wanted to hang out with the best. That's who I wanted to hang out with, is the best. If I saw quality in something, I wanted the best. If I called someone up on the phone, I don't want to speak to the office, I want to speak to the owner. That's the connection that I had when I was in different markets doing different things, no matter what. Because in my humble opinion, the things that I'm looking for, if you want someone to place a trade for you and you're driving down the road and you see your phone and you see something you want someone to place a trade for you and you don't have time and you go ahead and call the number, you want to make sure that the person you're talking to can place that appropriate trade. And the option traders know, the strike prices and all this stuff, if you're doing a straddle and you're doing all this, just everything. And if time is money, right? And it does take time for them to place a trade, and then it does take time for them to repeat it back to you, and it does take time for them to actually eventually push the button and execute the trade. Right? Same with something is crashing down, and you want to take your profits or you want to take your loss, whatever the case may be. If you have big orders in the market, you're not probably going to get filled if you're putting 1,000 shares at a time. Okay? You press that 1,000 shares at a time, you're probably not going to get filled. But if you go ahead and press 250, 250, 250, 250, you're going to get filled with a high probability, but they're not going to like that. Once again, have you been there? Have you done that? I have. They don't like that. Because, it's all of this game that we're playing. We're playing this game against the market, and it's against the elite. And not against, meaning they're not our friends and stuff like that. Nobody is really against each other. It's just, you have all of these people and market makers and routers and banks and institutions and, some shares you can't even short, there's no shares available or hard to borrow. All of this stuff is there for a reason, and should give you pause. That you're messing around with a very manipulated market. And when I say manipulate, I don't mean that in a bad way. It is what it is. Okay? There are people's retirements and all this stuff, and they have the market and they buy. But remember, when you're in, and this is no financial advice, read all the disclaimers, no financial advice whatsoever. But if you go into your 401k, you might have a few shares, one stock, a few shares somewhere else, a few shares somewhere else, a few shares somewhere else. Very conservative, right? Go ahead and look around. I was always a person that wanted to be in control of my money. I wanted to be in control of it, win or lose. I didn't want someone investing for me. I didn't want someone buying a property for me. I understood the market. I understand land. I understand the housing market. I understand it very well. Very, very well. I understand good prices and I understand not so good prices. I understand investments. I understand all of that. And I've done all of that. Where it leads me here today is I try to come out and give content to all of you traders and traders to be. Even if you have a gambling mentality, you might not even know it. When I talk about gamblers, I am not talking about specific individual person. I'm talking about the majority, 99.9% of the people don't even know that they are actually gambling. That is a fact. We have all of these prop firms coming on board. We have prop firms only, open for 6 months, open for 3 months, giving the traders the best deal out there. And then all of a sudden the payments start going out and they start tweaking the rules tighter and tighter and tighter. Your regulated broker's not going to do that. One thing that you might have to ask them, if you can, and if you've proven that you can trade, and you trade a lot, is you can get a better price, an entry and exit price. I talk to them. I have a better price. But other than that, it is what it is. Yeah, it still has to go to the exchange, and then there's exchange fees. And then there's always this other thing that's this Mickey Mouse place that opens up and says, come on over here, traders. Come on over here. We're not going to charge you any commissions. We're not going to charge you any exchange fees. Whatever the case is, whatever it is, whatever the word salad they want. And your fill orders suck. And the slippage sucks. There are some platforms that I hear all the time that I refuse to trade on. And there's some platforms that I have traded on that I really don't like to trade on. But it might be the only thing that they have or that they require you to do. Now, if we as parents or we as brothers and sisters or whoever, friends and family, have always cornered someone and says, listen, Johnny, you cannot come out of this box. You have to find your way in this box. That's not good. You have to think about it. You have to think where you're at in life today as far as what your goal is. If your goal is to trade, then you need to really ask yourself and hold yourself accountable. Like I expect all the mentees to hold themselves accountable. I get messages all the time. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the video. Thanks for this. Thanks for that. I communicate through YouTube also. If the mentees watch the video, they watch the video. If they decide not to, no problem. They know how to contact me 24/7. They live all over the world. I have no problem. I have a passion for helping others. I don't have a passion for giving shit away, but I have a passion for helping others, and they get more than they pay for. That's a fact. They always get more than they pay for. And it's a risk and reward. That's what it is. Life is about risk and reward. You are who you hang out with. Can someone back up what they say? Can they back up what they say objectively without their opinion? Not go back in history and say, this is the reason why, and that's the reason why I took that high and low and support and resistance and that imbalanced candle and the horizontal open line and horizontal closed line that has all these fancy fucking names. Settlements. Listen, the shit's a fucking line on a chart. Okay? That's what it is. That's all it is. And guess what? When price comes down to any and all lines on the chart. Let me rephrase this again. When price comes down to any line on the chart, it is going to reject every single line on that chart, up or down, throughout the entire chart, from the seconds to weekly, monthly, daily, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what to tell you, man. You're following people that don't understand that concept? Maybe that's why you're not profitable. Maybe that's why you're frustrated with yourself. Maybe that's why you think it's you, and the only reason you can't do it is because you're not smart enough. Maybe you think that this is the end of your trading career because you've lost everything. Maybe it's because you keep managing your stop loss, but you have no idea what you're doing in the market. And you agree to continue to give the banks, props, institutions, firms, money over and over again. Maybe it's the reason why they give you a paper account to practice and get that gambling fucking blood in your system. To do what? To open a live account. Come on over. Open that live account because we've stacked your demo. Welcome to the beast. Welcome to the algos that we run, that we have, that we spend millions and millions and millions of dollars, where we have traders just sitting there going, is the algo working? Looks pretty good to me. Yeah. Shaving those points. Yep. Yeah, it's working, boss. It's working. That's who you're trading against. It's up to you. You following a guru that can't find its way? You following a guru that can't find his or her way? Don't know. That's for you to decide. Come on over to breathingwiththemarkets.com and I will have a conversation with you one-on-one about trading, about the mentorship, and you will be satisfied. I guarantee it that you'll be satisfied. You will see the market differently. We don't follow the herd, and we don't do the shit that they do. Okay? See the guy behind me? He doesn't do the shit that everyone else does either. That's what it's all about. That is reality. We're not living a dream at breathingwiththemarkets.com. We're living reality. And reality is fucking accountability. And reality is learning how to fucking trade with the skill, not gamble. And reality is you're gonna lose your ass every time that you gamble. That is fucking reality. Are you still living a dream? Are you still looking at your dream home? I've got mentees that actually are doing some other things in their life to downsize just so they can think clearly. They're taking trading that seriously. I feel for those people. They're gonna have a skill one day if they listen to exactly what I say. The system that I have and the way I fucking trade, they can't prove it wrong. They cannot. I would encourage them to try, but they would have to show me. And that's called transparency. Just like I show them with transparency. Why it works. Over and over and over again. Why it works. Over and over and over and over and over again. If it doesn't work, show me the chart. What did you do? Tell me why you did it. Is that what I taught you? Simple answer. Simple answer. Is that what I taught you? No, you didn't teach me that. There you go. What did I teach you? Well, you taught me to do this and 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 this. And did you do that? No. Don't go against what I teach you. It's that simple. It is that simple. We communicate other things with breathingwiththemarkets.com. I'm not the holy fucking grail of traders, but I know one fucking thing. I know that market like fucking no other. Are there people out there? I'm sure there are, but I know that market and I can teach that market. I am proud and I am honored to have all of the mentees at breathingwiththemarkets.com as they continue to make progress at their own pace. And if you have more and more experience in gambling, it's going to take you longer to get rid of it. I'll give you an example today. I went and had Starbucks today, had coffee. I don't drink black coffee, but I had black coffee. I had coffee today. And I'm trying to work on enzymes and stuff like that. And I normally get like half and half or whatever. So I didn't get half and half. And I'm like, what do you have? So I got some almond milk. And I was going to put a little bit of almond milk in there. And I'm like, you know what? Fuck this. So I took the cup off and I dumped that shit out the window, put the cap back on, put it in the truck, throw away later. That is how fast you can change your life. That is a fact. You and only you make those choices. Not someone else, not someone else's advice. If you want to do something, you can do it yourself. You don't need anyone to hold your hand. All you need is someone that knows what the fuck they're talking about in trading, to teach you and to mentor you. Not about money, not look at how much I do, look at how much I make, all of this stuff. But the transparency of thousands and hundreds of trades throughout the week, showing the mentees, did this work? Yeah. Did this work? Yeah. Did this work? Yeah. Look at all these trades. Yeah. I don't know what else to say. And all of the mentees showing their charts, bits and pieces. They all have different schedules. They're not all saying, I want to be this full-time trader. I have taught them, let's gain a skill. You need more than one job. What's the definition of a full-time trader? If it takes me 30 seconds to a minute every morning to get in and out of the chart, now what's that full-time mean? A full-time trader? So I pay bills? So let me ask you something, because this is fucking stupid. Say it takes you an hour a day. What are you gonna do the rest of the day since you call yourself a full-time trader? So you trade an hour a day and you're profitable and you have your gig. Great. I'm happy for you. What do? Just fucking hang out and sit? If you hang out and sit and waste your life away, how are you gonna get ahead? You should have 2 and 3 different incomes, right? If you have a hobby, I would call it more of a hobby. I'm a full-time trader. I call trading a hobby, right? It's like saying that you have a best friend. Why don't you have a lot of good friends? Why would you say you have a best friend, right? What about all good friends? Treat everyone equal. Learn to treat everyone equal, right? Because if you do learn to treat everyone equal, then everyone has a better understanding, okay? It doesn't matter where you live. There are people that live in places that may not have the money for mentorship who are saving up. They email me all the time. I get it. And there are the same people and other people that have also said that they hit the prop firm industry first. They hit the prop firm industry first thinking that they can make a holy grail and make money. And they lost their savings. They lost their fucking savings. Why? The prop firms weren't teaching them that they had to have a skill to trade. Come on over. You can do it. Take your time. Don't over fucking leverage. We'll give you all that fucking money. Don't over leverage. If you get a windfall trade, we're gonna take it away because you're a lucky bastard that day. You can't trade that way. Well, if they couldn't trade that way, why would you give them all that leverage to trade? Why would you just rake their fucking money away from them? Think about what I'm saying, traders. Think about the guy behind me. Think about what I'm saying. Why? Because it's the business plan. And I'm not talking about one prop firm. And then you have affiliates. Jeez. Pushing and pushing and pushing. Pushing codes, pushing codes, pushing codes, pushing codes. Next thing you know, they have 10 fucking different codes or the same code for 10 different companies. Why? They're targeting beginners. Because anyone with fucking common sense, you get the same discount by not using a code, right? Oh, well, I'm pushing free content here and you help out the channel and blah, blah, blah. I already had a video on that. Pushing out free content. Well, what does free mean, okay? I didn't say I was pushing out free content because I know I'm helping a lot of traders out there, especially with their psychology, listening to what I'm saying like, oh, maybe I'm gambling. Maybe I don't have an objective plan. Maybe this will help. And I hope it does. I hope it does. If they don't have the money or they don't want to come over to Breathingwith the Market, no problem. I wish them all well. He or she can go wherever they want. But one thing is in common, is we are finding more and more traders that take their life savings and go to these prop firms, and the prop firms tell them that live is a lot harder, or come to live, work yourself to live. Well, you can do that on day one, traders. But my suggestion for you would be go seek a mentorship. Go seek a one-on-one mentorship. Someone who has a skill, someone who says that they have a skill and they can show you with transparency a skill in the market. Not show their bankroll, not show their fake accounts, not show all this. Someone who has transparency that can actually prove to you that they have a skill in the market, right? That's what you need. That's my suggestion. And read all the disclaimers. Read all the disclaimers with breathingwiththemarkets.com. Read all the disclaimers if you go and you want to bypass all that and you decide to just trade with a non-regulated broker or a regulated broker. Because if you sign up for a regulated broker, they're going to ask your trading history. You think you're just going to come in there and trade futures and you're going to trade options, you're going to do all this stuff? They need to protect you also. Okay? They need to protect you also. It doesn't work that way, where you just get what you want at normal brokers. And that you're not going to go ahead and lose everything you have. I mean, if you may get a margin call, but there's a lot of important information that they need to see from you. All these third-party and offshore accounts, they don't need to see shit. Oh, yeah. Oh, by the way, send over crypto. Okay? Send over crypto to our company, and then we pay you back in crypto. And this is the list of crypto that you can use. Traders, think about what you're doing. Right? Send over crypto. How is that going to work for you? Our slippage increases, send over crypto, our slippage increases 300 pips in a matter of a second, right before close, right before open. All of that stuff. There are charts that are out there that you may get wicked out on a chart. And you look at 3 other charts on different platforms, lives, another broker, and the regulated brokers, the candles are matching. From my experience, they're matching. Non-regulated brokers, firms, different prop firms, whatever, there's going to be discrepancies. So why this happened to me, why on 4 different platforms, and then the platform I was on, that I was making the money, and they owed me money, why did it go up in wick and go down to where I was headed in the first place? And the wick was huge. It wasn't like nothing, there was no wick. There was like a quarter, very little, compared to 3 inches. That is manipulation. That is a game that is against all the traders. You have no say in that. You cannot complain about that. But you took that risk, and I took that risk. And it showed me exactly what I've always been saying. Peace, traders.